My name is Emeka Okafor, and for the first time in my life, I am speaking without hiding behind shadows, without disguising my voice, and without fear of the covens that once held my soul captive. If you told me 5 years ago that I would sit in front of a camera and speak openly about the things I did, the people I harmed, the families I raised altars against, I would have laughed, because in those days, my covenant with darkness was the only thing that kept me alive. I was born in Enugu State, raised in a family that looked normal on the outside. But behind the scenes, something ancient and spiritual that nobody talked about. My grandmother was a priestess, but not the kind that carries a Bible. She carried secrets, she carried powers, and from childhood I was marked. I didn't choose witchcraft. Witchcraft chose me carefully, quietly, and gradually. It started with dreams, dark dreams, dreams of feasts, dreams of shadows, dreams of eating things I didn't understand. When I was 10, I was initiated not with blood, not with rituals, not with chanting, but with food. Yes, food. And today I want to expose the three most powerful foods witches use to blind the spiritual eyes and deafen the spiritual ears of believers, especially in this season. But before I tell you what those foods are, I need you to understand why food is one of the most dangerous spiritual gates in the realm of darkness. Because if you understand why, you will never be careless with what you eat again. How food became a spiritual system. People think witchcraft is about flying at night, dancing around fire, or wearing red beads. That is the surface. The deeper level, the true level is exchange. In the spirit realm, eating is not just eating. Eating is agreement. Eating is partnership. Eating is acceptance. Even God used food to establish covenants. The Passover meal, the communion table. Food is a gateway. So when believers say it's just food, it is not that serious, I shake my head, because that just food could be a spiritual padlock. When witches want to block your discernment, the fastest way is through your mouth. Your mouth is a gate. Your tongue is a gate. Your stomach is a gate. Spiritual sight can be blinded through what you swallow. The Bible says in Matthew 13:15, "For these people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed." One of the ways the eyes close is through what enters the body. The first time I was spiritually blinded, I didn't even know it happened. My grandmother gave me a small bowl of pap one cold harmattan morning. It tasted normal, but something happened that night. I slept, but my spirit did not rest. I saw myself in a room full of women dressed in white wrappers. They were sitting on those low stools, murmuring prayers that I could not understand. One of them came to me, placed her hand on my head and said, "Eat with us and you will see." But when I woke up, I couldn't see. Not physically, spiritually. That was the beginning. My prophetic sensitivity faded. I stopped dreaming clear dreams. I stopped discerning danger. I stopped seeing shadows that used to appear around people. A veil had covered my spiritual eyes, and I did not know it came from food. Before I expose the three foods, you must understand that witches operate at levels. 1. Physical level. Programming food through touch, breath, or intention. 2. Astral level, entering dreams to feed the person spiritually. 3. Ancestral level, using long-standing family altars to influence certain foods automatically. 4. Coven level, actual rituals performed on food meant for multiple destinies, weddings, funerals, birthdays, December gatherings. Now let me finally expose the 3 most dangerous foods that witches use, especially in festive seasons when people eat carelessly. But before I start, listen carefully. It is not the food itself that is evil. It is what is done to it spiritually.
Food 1. Rice, especially party rice, the food of collective blindness. You see that jollof rice you rush to eat at parties? Many times that food has passed through hands you will never know. In coven, rice is called the seed carrier. Why? Because each grain represents a person. Once programmed, it spreads across many lives at once. There was a December festival in my village. We were assigned to cover the eyes of the entire youth group so that they would not discern a major tragedy coming the following year. How did we do it? We programmed the rice while people danced and celebrated. We sat in the spirit realm stirring the pot. Every youth that ate from that rice became spiritually numbed for almost 8 months. Many lost their prayer fire. Some fell into addictions. Some became sexually loose. Some lost opportunities. All from food. Food 2. Meats, especially fried chicken, goat meat, the food of spiritual deafness. Meat is one of the easiest foods to exchange destinies with. Why? Because spiritually, meat represents flesh. When witches want to weaken your resistance to sin, when they want to make you spiritually lazy, when they want to make you deaf to warnings, they use meat programmed through rituals. In my second year in the coven, we targeted a young pastor who was beginning to expose our works. He was too sharp, too discerning, too prayerful. So the order came, blind his ears. We couldn't touch him directly. His prayer life was too strong. But his church had a youth Thanksgiving service and he loved fried chicken. That was our entry. We programmed the chicken through chanting, invocation, and ancestral invocation. He ate it and within 14 days, prayer fire dropped. Their unity broke. 2 fell into temptation. 1 had a miscarriage. The group collapsed. All from food. Food 3. Anything sweet, especially drinks, desserts, and homemade snacks, the food of spiritual sedation. Sweet things are used to create spiritual sleepiness. People who eat a lot of sweetened snacks during celebration seasons usually experience laziness to pray, sudden spiritual heaviness, strange dreams, tiredness when they try to fast, lack of concentration, emotional weakness, falling into old sins, forgetfulness during prayer. Why? Because sweetness represents pleasure, and in the spirit realm, pleasure can be turned into sedation. This was my specialty in the coven. I was assigned to weaken the prayer lives of a women's prayer group in Lagos. These women prayed fire every midnight, every day. We could not attack them directly, so we attacked them through cakes and drinks during a baby shower. Within 14 days, prayer fire dropped. Their unity broke. 2 fell into temptation. 1 had a miscarriage. The group collapsed. All from sweet things.
How believers can escape this trap? Witchcraft through food is real, but deliverance is possible. Here is what saved me. 1. Fasting. Isaiah chapter 58. I fasted and purged out everything deposited in me over the years. 2. Prayers on food. 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 5. Your prayer on food matters. Blessing food breaks spiritual programming. 3. Discernment. Don't eat everywhere. Don't accept food from everyone, not even in Holy Communion sometimes. This reversed everything they put in my system. It reopened my spiritual eyes after years of blindness. 4. Renunciation prayers. Night after night, I broke ungodly food covenants. The night God delivered me, I vomited. Not food, not liquid, but things. Things I swallowed in dreams. Things I ate unknowingly. Things that had lived in my body for years. I screamed for hours. My eyes opened spiritually. My ears opened spiritually. And I saw the coven clearly and saw God's hand even more clearly. If you are listening to this video right now, hear me. Be careful. Be vigilant. This is the season when programmed food flies everywhere. But God has given us authority. Pray over your food, sanctify your meals, and stay spiritually awake. I am Emeka Okafor, and I have spoken my truth. If God saved me, He can save you.